Okay, hi everyone, welcome back. And in this update, we are going to check out Near Protocol, and unfortunately, what we said pretty much played out, and I'm not really happy about that. Trust me, I never ever would like a move on the downside, but the writing was kind of back down on the wall because we said this might be an ABC zigzag, and what we want to see is a consolidation and yet another move on the upside, and even that move must be in form of a 1 2 3 4 5. And what you do not want to see is a rather strong move down in order to take this important low, and that would pretty much be your bearish confirmation, suggesting this is actually an ABC zigzag, and our move down in near unfortunately is going to continue. Now let's go on our own chart. I think it was from Binance. There we go. So what's the general idea in Near Protocol? You see, I still believe that we are having in here an A, B, C zigzag, and in terms of the subwaves, you need to have 5 wave down into wave A and C, and for your B leg, we can have many different possibilities, not really that important. And with that said, what is going on from this side? This is a 1 running flat into wave 2, big move down into wave 3, correction for another move down into wave 5, which on a higher degree I'm hoping that it's going to be into an A leg, correction for wave B, this time an ABC zigzag, and yet another now 1 2 3 4 5 wave down into potentially our wave C. So you see, there is actually a chance that in Near Protocol the final low is already in, but I think right now it's a little bit too soon to jump into that kind of bullish conclusions. Why is that? Let's go on crypto.com's chart. There we go. Here's the deal. If this move down is truly a wave 5, then in it we must be able to find a 5 wave impulsive structure down. However, I think finding a 5 wave in here is a bit of a challenge. And are you going to say, for example, I don't know, maybe like this is 1 2, another move down into wave 3, correction for 4, another move on the downside into wave 5? Because I don't really believe you can argue that. Why? You see, into your wave 3 you need to have a 5 wave without overlapping of the waves. However, we do clearly have overlapping of the waves in here. And do not get me wrong, it is possible to find a 5 wave, and here is how. This might be starting from here, ABC up short, but now into an A leg, ABC down into B, ABC up into C, correction down into wave D, and another move up into our E leg. And from this high, we may have a 1 2 3 4 5 wave in form of an expanding ending diagonal, which is not really that ideal, but again, it is possible to find a 5 wave. But because it's not that ideal, I'm going to say maybe right now in Near Protocol, we should be a bit patient and also a bit careful. So what is going to happen in the short term? My money is on this scenario. This might be a wave 1 2 about here or here, not important. Correction for wave 2, this move up might be into a wave 3, and you may see correction for 4, another move up into wave 5. And at this point you might say, well, okay, the fact that we're gonna have hopefully a 5 wave up off of the lowest low is a great sign, suggesting the low is already in, right? The answer is yes. However, question, what happens after a 5 wave on the upside, even if we are looking bullish and optimistic? You know the answer. One way or the other, we are going to have a move down, and I think this move is going to pretty much have all the answers that we need. Why is that? You see, there is a chance that this is going to be ABC up into A, ABC down into B, and a 5 wave up into our C leg. And overall, this is going to be either a running flat or maybe an expanded flat, depending on whether we are going to take the highest side in here, about $2.6 or not. Nonetheless, this scenario suggests after this move up is over, we are going to actually have a strong move down in order to once more take the lows in here, about $2.2. On the other hand, if the low is truly already in Near Protocol, this move down is not actually going to be strong. No, in fact, it's going to be a slow and choppy move down with a lot of overlapping of the waves. So assuming that I identify the right subwaves in this area, fair enough, in the next update, I'm going to call this thing a beautiful buy and potentially even long opportunity. On the other hand, if I see a strong move down, a 1 2 3 4 5, okay, the story is going to be a bit different, and at that point we need to consider this whole move being an ABC flat, indicating our downtrend hasn't at least yet come to an end. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Near Protocol. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.